Okay. Hi, everyone. This is our Danzante Bay registration call. If you've done one of our tournaments before, you are familiar with this. Usually we have all the players come on and it's like an active Zoom call. This year for Danzante Bay, I wanted to try out recording this ahead of time and just letting everyone view it at their leisure. I strongly suggest with this tournament that every player watch this registration video. Um, there's a lot going on, and we will not be kind of reviewing this material again going into the tournament. So, for example, I'm going to go into depth on the rules of the formats. We're not going to go over that again, you know, at the tournament. So, I want everyone to kind of be clear on what the rules, excuse me, what the rules are. And if you have any questions, you can email me and I'll help answer them. And then, you know, our time is limited when we're on the golf course. So I just want to focus on having a great time and enjoying the golf course instead of, you know, lecturing everyone about the rules and what's going on. Okay. As always, this is supposed to be a fun tournament. It's friendly competition. Please, if someone needs help with the rules, whether it's format rules or, just a USGA rule, please help them. This is not something where we have to be, um, we do have myself and Carrie and Phyllis and Ashley and Brooke around the course, and actually even Everardo that can help answer any rules questions. But the course is pretty spread out, and we can't be everywhere at once. So if you can help your playing partners with any rules questions they might have, and still remember that this is supposed to be a fun time. And, if you're like me, I enjoy some competition while I'm playing golf. It just kind of adds to the fun for me. And so that's the whole idea of my tournaments, okay, is to enjoy these beautiful courses. Sorry, I can't get over my freaking hair right now. Um, to enjoy these beautiful courses and to have some friendly competition with it. Okay, so I'm going to start a slideshow right now. Um, I'm sure you have lots of questions. I'm pretty positive that my slideshow, my presentation today will answer all your questions. So, if you don't hear your answer right away, just listen to the entire show or to the entire slideshow, and then if we don't by chance answer it, please email me and I will respond. And I'll probably, if it's something big that I left out that I think everyone should know, I'll put it in the Facebook group or put it in another email update. Okay? All right, let's get this started. Don't like that. All right. Okay, so I want to go over what this registration call format will be about. So I'm going to go over some important updates, and then I'll go over our team, and then arrival and resort information, itinerary and schedule, tournament information, and then format rules. So if you're pretty confident on the format and the rules, you don't have to listen to that part. That's why I put it at the end. Um, if you've been to one of my tournaments before, they're very similar rules, and you won't have to listen to that portion. Okay? All right, so some important updates. The swag delivery will be by Saturday. So if you haven't received your swag box yet, you should receive it by Saturday. If you don't receive it by Saturday, please let me know by Sunday. I will be leaving for Danzante Bay on Monday, the 20th, and I'm not going to be bringing any of my UPS tracking codes with me. So if you don't have it, by Saturday, please let me know and I'll send you the UPS tracking number and we can see what's going on. And if it's lost in the mail, I still have time to get out another box for you. Um, all our Canadian players, I will be bringing your swag with me to Danzante Bay, and I will have those swag bags for you at the opening party on Thursday night. Okay? Sweatshirt sizing, we ran out of smalls. Okay, there's about 4 players that really would love a small. So if you received a small and you're thinking, well, medium would kind of be nice, let me know because I have, like I said, a couple players that would love to exchange their medium for a small. Um, the American flight from Phoenix. I know there's about 35 players on this flight with 35 golf bags. They're not going to bring all those golf bags. I can tell you right now, the plane will be overweight, and most likely some of those golf bags will be left behind and then delivered on the following day on Friday. This sucks. It happened to me at Pebble Beach about a week ago, and it is what it is. It's a smaller plane, and they just can't accommodate, 30 plus golf bags. So just keep that in mind. Let's hope everything goes well and all the golf bags come. But just be prepared, mentally prepared, that it might be delayed a day and your practice round at Danzante Bay might be with a rental set. Um, you know, it is what it is. Danzante Bay has plenty of rental sets to use, women's and men's, left and right-handed. Um, and then we as a team are going to figure out a way for us to go to the airport and get them for you. Um, Most likely, we're going to need a copy of your passport and then a letter from you saying, I have permission to pick up your golf bags. Either the Danzante Bay team or myself and one of my team members has permission to pick up your golf bag. Um, I have done this before with someone else picking up my golf bag and it's worked just fine. So I want to make it as easy as possible for you if this does happen, um, and we'll work on it for you. So I know that's kind of a stressful thing, and I apologize. There's nothing we can do about it, but we will do everything in our power to make it the least stress possible once it does, if it does happen. Again, after this presentation, and if you have any remaining questions, please email me. But like I said, please listen to the whole presentation before, maybe just stopping and emailing me first, because I'm sure I'll answer it in one of these slides. Okay, let's meet the team. So we have myself and Ashley. We know the answers to every single question. Ashley might not know a specific golf rules question, but as far as where to be, when to be, she will be able to answer the majority of those questions. Myself and Carrie are the official tournament directors. We will also be on the golf course each day as spotters. So that's why you see Carrie and I in the player list. We will be paired with another team each day and play golf along with you. So be prepared for that. Phyllis is actually also a player. She is playing with a good friend, Jeannie. And so she is there on the team and able to help in any way she can, but she will be playing in the tournament. So we have Brooke Shaw with us. She will be in charge of our social media. So you'll see her coming around with a video recorder. I don't know, anyway, like a vlog camera, taking video of our event as a whole. Everardo, of course, is our photographer. We have Casey Campbell as our official MC and DJ for the entire event. And then Andrew Hannon is doing our pre-round stretch and wake-up sessions. So if you've been to one of our tournaments, you'll recognize every one of these team members, and we're excited to have them back. The main Danzante Bay team that is kind of helping us with this tournament is Rich Taylor, the Director of Golf Development. He was there in 2022 also. He's a great guy. He is there. You'll see him at every one of our events. He's very excited to have us there. And then you'll also see Danny Garcia, the head golf professional. He's a character. You'll recognize him right away. He'll be kind of driving along while we're playing. He's extremely friendly, and both of those guys are there to make our stay the best they can. And also the golf team there, like the backroom guys and all of them, they're very excited to have us back. We had such a great time in 2022, and they're excited to have us back. Um, it's an amazing crew they have there at Danzante Bay and also at the hotel. Um, they're to help. They are there to help in any way we can. Okay, for the customs and transfers, okay, we've gotten a lot of questions about transportation, so this will answer most of it, if not all of it. You're going to collect your luggage in customs. So you'll go through customs and then you'll have this little baggage area right there that you'll receive your luggage. Do not leave the main customs area until you have all your luggage. Once you exit that area, you can't get back in, and I'm sure it's a hassle to get your luggage from there. You'll probably have to wait a long time for them to bring it out. So you're gonna go through customs, you're gonna show them your passport. It's a quick process, and then you literally walk 5 feet, and then you're at the luggage area. Um, and all your luggage will come in there. Transportation. So we had all the players be required to get the all-inclusive plan. Okay, even if you're staying in one of the timeshares, we required you to get the all-inclusive plan. And the reason for that is obviously all your food and drink is covered, but also that includes transfers to and from the airport. The transfers will be from a company called Wild Loretto, and they will have signs that say Villa del Palmar or Danzante Bay Invitational or DBI. I list all those because you never know day of if they switch up the sign, but it will be very clear on where you need to go and the Wild Loretto vans you need to get in. The vans will not leave the airport until they know all the players that they're bringing in their van are inside the van. So don't get nervous if customs is taking a little longer than usual, or if you do, go through the whole luggage process and, one of your luggages or golf clubs aren't there, they'll wait till you have it sorted out and then they will leave when you are with them on the van. It is about a 30-minute drive to the resort. Okay, upon arrival, you're going to check into the resort just as usual. You're going to put your credit card down for incidentals and then sign off on the all-inclusive plan. Details of the all-inclusive plan I did email out about maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. You're going to get a wristband when you check in. That is your room key. When I first got the wristband, I was like, well, this is going to be annoying. This will be hard to golf in. It's not. You don't even know it's there. I golfed just fine. I didn't feel it at all. Please be patient during check-in time. There's a lot of people that come in all at once. It's basically anyone that was on that flight that is going to the resort. So just be patient. They do bring out extra people during that check-in process, but it still could be a little bit of a wait. Um, we will have the option to take your golf clubs right when you check in. You will take it out of the travel bag, your golf clubs out of the travel bag, and you'll keep your travel bag in your room. But if you do want to unload your golf clubs right then, we will have people there to take your clubs and take them right up to the golf course for storage. If you don't choose that option and would rather take your golf clubs up to the room and kind of get settled in, I know you pack a lot of stuff in your travel bag, I do too, then we ask that you bring your golf clubs to the opening party, which is that evening, and it's at the clubhouse. So that will just help the golf room staff to get prepared for Friday morning and have your golf clubs ready for you. They will keep your golf clubs for the entire stay. And then they'll ask you that Sunday, after you're done golfing, you take your golf clubs back to the room and you can pack them up then. If you're playing golf or practicing before Thursday, we do have a couple people that are showing up early. The golf staff will store your bags, especially once the tournament, once Thursday comes along, they'll store your clubs for you in anticipation for the tournament. So some all-inclusive notes. Your wristband is your room key. Don't take it off. Every meal and drink that you get will be signed off on, even if you have the all-inclusive plan. So you still receive like a check and you have to sign off on it. Um, the room service and beverage cart on the golf course is included in the all-inclusive plan. There is a slot on all the checks, at least this is how it was in 2022, where you add a tip. It's really confusing because it's pesos. So I suggest tipping with American dollars. That's fine. It makes it a lot easier, but you'll have to bring some extra cash with you to do that. Some kind of red flags for all inclusive. If you do eat at the Danzante restaurant, which is their, um, high-end steak restaurant, they do charge $25 per person there. That's the only restaurant that charges extra. And then if you do order upgraded liquor or bottles of wine, they do charge you extra for that. The all-inclusive details, like I said, was in the email that you received about 2 weeks ago. So you can view all the details in full there. Tipping, like I said, tips are very much appreciated. You can tip in American dollars, they don't care. And then for your food tabs, like I said, go ahead and use American dollars instead of inputting pesos if you prefer to do that. Um, Your golf cart is going to be how you get back and forth to the golf course. So each morning you're going to show up in the lobby and your golf cart will be there with your clubs. Um, you are responsible for getting on that cart with your partner. There will be another kind of golf cart commuter cart that goes back and forth, but it's very much preferred that you and your partner get on your golf cart at the same time and drive up to the course. Allow for about 5 minutes to commute to the course. Once you get up there, the golf team will show you exactly where to park based on your hole assignments. And then the golf carts do have USB chargers and a USB charger and a GPS screen. Okay, so this will kind of be our typical morning golf schedule. It will be the same Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So breakfast is going to open at the market, which is inside the resort at 7 a.m. But if you want to get up close to the golf course, there will also be a continental breakfast at the clubhouse, which also opens at 7 a.m. 7:30 will be when we start our rock and range sessions and our warm-ups with Andrew. So please be prepared that even if you come up to the clubhouse at 7, we're going to kind of open the range at 7:30 a.m. And we'll have a shotgun start at 8:30. That is when we will, start going out to the holes. The afternoon schedule each day, plan on a 4.5 hour round. Finish around 1:15, especially if you want to schedule some spa appointments or afternoon activities. There'll be lunch at the clubhouse if you want to just stay there and eat lunch, or you can go back to the resort and eat wherever you want. Lunch for the tournament, there's no formal location. You and your partner, you and your friends can go do and eat wherever you want. You're going to either take your golf cart back to the hotel or a shuttle. They're not quite sure about that yet. They might just want to keep the golf carts up at the golf course. So just be prepared that, that's kind of a game time decision where they're going to inform you either take the golf cart back and you're just going to leave it at the lobby, or you're going to take the shuttle back. They will put your clubs away in storage and they are locked away and safe. But make sure you take all your belongings out of the golf cart because you might have the same golf cart each day, but you might not. On Thursday evening, we have a 5 p.m. opening party at the clubhouse. We'll have an hour cocktail hour. That is early, I agree, but we wanted to catch the sunset, which is around 5:30. Um, again, if we haven't gotten your golf clubs by then, please bring them up to this opening party. We'll have some live music. We'll have some, Casey Campbell mixing the beats that night. We're going to have a lot of raffle prizes, a lot of great raffle prizes. And again, we'll have a cocktail hour and followed by a 6 p.m. dinner. This party will be inside and outside, so be prepared to, maybe bring a sweater for when the sun goes down. This will also be your time to, good time to shop at the clubhouse, at the pro shop, excuse me. Um, if you haven't been there before, or if you haven't been back since 2022, which was when the last time we were there, they do have an actual pro shop now. It's not just a tent. So they'll have a lot of good things for us to buy. And yeah, Friday evening is our white party. And that's going to start at 6 p.m. There'll be a buffet dinner, and we will have assigned tables, and each table is set for 8 people. Now, if you're like me and haven't really shopped yet or have been kind of looking around for some white attire, it's pretty hard this time of year. So if wearing jeans or denim on the bottom and a white shirt makes you feel more comfortable, that is totally fine. Again, all of these um, themes are optional. So I don't want you to stress over getting white, a white, like little sundress or anything, or a white skirt. It's hard to find this time of year. So whatever you're comfortable in is totally fine. The live entertainment starts at 7 p.m., which is a show. I am really hoping it is the same show that we had in 2022, which was an absolute blast. It's not guaranteed, but fingers crossed that it is. Now, the discotheque, the club that they have at Villa del Palmar, usually doesn't open until 10 p.m. on Thursdays, Friday, and Saturday. We have requested that it opens at 9 p.m. that night so that we can head up there early and have a little after party. Um, there is a little shuttle that you have to take to the club. So once the live entertainment kind of ends, we will kind of all group together and get up into the shuttles and head up to the club. Again, fingers crossed that they'll open it early. I'm pretty confident that they will. But there is a club and a bar up there, and we're hoping that Friday night might be our big party night. I don't know. We'll see. Saturday evening and afternoon actually is no formal tournament event. So this would be after play on Saturday. It's a great time for you to schedule an activity if you want to go out on a boat or just lay by the beach or get a spa appointment. Um, this is a great time to do it. Make sure if you haven't already that you make reservations for that evening, dinner reservations because the hotel is sold out. So we want you to make sure you have a good place to eat dinner that night. I did send out a QR code in the email 2 weeks ago. Um, you can make reservations up to 2 weeks in advance, so I highly suggest you do that if you haven't already. We will possibly have a jam session with Casey on the beach later that night, maybe around 8:30. We were going to previously do the same thing as we did in 2022, which is have s'mores by the fire pit and have Casey with his guitar out there. But I guess they don't do fire pits anymore. So that kind of put a damper on that whole idea. But we're going to start communicating via text as soon as Thursday comes along. So just be on the lookout for a text that might say, we're meeting up at the beach on Saturday night. Again, everything is optional, so you don't have to come, but be on the lookout for that. But also, if that doesn't happen, there's usually Saturday entertainment at the market, which is a lot of fun. Okay, Sunday evening. Um, I don't know why I did the Sunday morning. Ignore that. Sunday evening is our beach party. That will start at 5:30. We will have a cocktail hour and then a buffet dinner. We'll have some dance and award celebration to follow. This is when we're going to announce all the awards and we'll give away all the winnings, which there's a lot this year. So that will be a fun evening. That's right on the beach, and it's they set it up really nice for us. Okay, and then Monday morning, allow an hour for to call to get your bags picked up and to check out. Um, I will have specific pickup times in the lobby for you soon. I requested them yesterday and was told I would have them very quick. So as soon as I receive them, I'll email them out. Maybe by the time I email this link out, I'll have them in the email. But just know that I still owe you pickup times in the lobby to go back to transfer back to the airport, and I'll get those to you as soon as possible. And that also goes for if you're leaving on Tuesday or any later date. Obviously, I'll get you those times also. Okay, let's get into the tournament format. So Friday is a practice round. You're going to play your own ball. You can do whatever you want, but we will have a Canadian skins game going on too, which is $1,000 pot. So we ask if you do want to participate in the skins game, and skins is hole by hole. So if you could be playing good one hole, you have to hole out in order to be eligible for skins. So I'll say if you're over a net par, you're probably not going to win a skins. So you can pick up whenever. But if you want to try and win a skin, the ball has to reach the bottom of the cup to be eligible for a skin. So we ask that you respect that, and then we'll have winners for the skins game probably Friday evening, or maybe we'll announce them Saturday morning. So be on the lookout for that. Again, I'll explain a Canadian skins. I'm going to explain all the formats at the end of the Zoom call. So if you're confident you know what all these formats are, you don't have to listen to it. Round one, which is Saturday, is a team scramble, and then Sunday's round two is team best ball. And keep in mind, we will be using Stableford scoring for both tournament rounds on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, we're gonna have four flights of eight and one flight of nine. Probably the first flight, I can tell you, is going to be nine teams because Carrie and I will be playing with that ninth team, within that first flight. We're going to be taking your handicap index from Friday, October 17th. That will be the day that I send out flights. But and also keep in mind when you're looking at the flights that we only use a maximum handicap of 36, course handicap of 36, and we also do a 10-stroke differential within partners. So you might see some teams that look like they have a higher combined handicap index than it seems like they should be in that flight. But trust me, that's because of the 10-stroke differential, and everything gets adjusted. I am using Golf Genius, so the computer figures out everything. We've been using the same formats for years, so trust that Golf Genius knows what it's doing, and it computes everything. So when we send out the flights, if you see something weird, that's probably why. For the prizes, we're going to do day money on Saturday and Sunday. So every team that's low gross and low net for Saturday and Sunday within the flight will receive $200. Keep in mind that you cannot win day money twice. So if you win it on Saturday, either for low gross or low net, it doesn't matter. You can't win it again on Sunday. So there's lots of opportunities to win that money as far as with day money. And then with flight prizes, we pay out first, second, and third low gross and first, second, and third low net in each flight. And we also do overall gross and overall net winners. If you are the lucky team that wins overall gross or overall net, you will not be able to win another flight prize, okay? That's typical for any tournament, really. But we're paying out $2,600 per flight. So there's a lot of, since, we only have 66 teams, or excuse me, 66 players, so 33 teams. You guys, the payouts got, I mean, we're still paying out the same total amount. And so it got a lot higher for each individual prize. So it's a lot of money to win, and it will be, a lot of chances to place also. Like I said, we will be using Golf Genius and paper scorecards. The paper scorecard is your official scorecard. So we ask that one player per group does input Golf Genius scoring. But at the end of the day, what is on your paper scorecard when you hand that in is your official scorecard. So we will revise Golf Genius if needed to reflect whatever's on your paper scorecard. If you don't have Golf Genius, the app loaded in as of today, please download the app. It is orange. You'll see it orange. You just search Golf Genius in your app store. Our event GGID is Danzante Bay 2025, and our portal address is 2025 Danzante Bay Invitational.golfgenius.com. As of right now, there's nothing to look at. I haven't released any information. I would say by next Wednesday, there'll be lots of information on there, but there's no reason to go look right now. The event GGID is not what you use each day. I will also be sending out a link in the email. You've probably already seen it that shows you how to use Golf Genius. So if you've never used Golf Genius before, please watch that. Basically, the event GGID, what you see right there is what is the code that you input when you want to look at all the scores at the end of the day. But when you start inputting a score each day on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you're going to have a personalized GGID on your scorecard that you're going to use. Okay? Sounds complicated. It really isn't that complicated. Please watch the tutorial video if you've never used Golf Genius before. But here's the lucky thing is only one player from each foursome needs to input scores on Golf Genius. So all we need to know, and all we need to have is one player per group that's confident on how to use it. And they can do all the work for the entire foursome. But it really doesn't take long. I don't want it to seem like it takes a long time. It takes about, 5 seconds to do after each hole. After each round, you'll be handing in your scorecard to Carrie or myself, or maybe even Phyllis at the scoring table. The scoring table will be by the range. It will be very clear where to hand it in. Please make sure you have gone hole by hole with your playing partners. The team that you're playing with each day should be keeping your score also. So please confirm your score with your playing partners each day and go hole by hole. Do not just go by the total, okay? Pairings will be random within the flight each day, and then pairings will be released the night before each round. So going into the final day, please be prepared. You're not going to be playing with, by score. It's just all random. I do it all ahead of time. I do all the pairings ahead of time because this makes it easier for the backroom guys to get prepared each day. So it is random. You're going to be playing with a team within your flight. The only thing is in the first flight, there will be a team, like I said, playing with Carrie and I each day. Okay, the themes. Friday is 50 Shades of Blue, and Friday is also the day we're going to be doing our team picture or our group picture at 8:15 a.m., so keep that in mind. Saturday is Neon, And then Sunday will be represent your favorite sports team. And then finally, Friday evening is our white party. A couple extra event info. Pace of play is very important. If we do get behind, we will have team members out there to kind of push you along. Please don't take offense to this. We want everyone to fly through the course. We don't want, we want you to be able to play with really space in front of you and space in back of you. We will have the entire course mostly to ourselves. So and why I say that is because I'm thinking that once we all get through hole number one, they might put other hotel guests in there, but you won't see them and they won't interfere with you by any means. So just keep that in mind. If you are out of the hole, please pick up. So the reason why we do Stableford scoring is this allows it to be very easy and clear when to pick up, which is a net double bogey. And again, we'll go through this when I talk about the format rules. If you're sharing on social, you can use hashtag DBI Invitational, or excuse me, DB Invitational. And then the IG handle, the tag would be Girls Going Golfing Retreats. Okay, we'd love to reshare any videos videos or pictures you're sharing on socials. And talking about photos, I will have a link of Everardo's photos that I'll share via text, probably starting on either Thursday or Friday. I'll share that website right away so that you can start downloading his photos that he's taking. Okay, this is the part where we're going to get into the formats. So if you're confident on the formats and our scoring, especially Stableford scoring, you can skip this section. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in Mexico. Okay, getting into Canadian skins. This is a net skins tournament, okay? But it favors the lower gross score when multiple people have the same net score. For example, if multiple players tie for the lowest net score on a hole, but only one of those players did it with their gross score, then that player wins the skin. It is a net game, but there are some gross scores that will be favored for it. Please note, a winning skin does not need to be at the gross score, okay? And you must hole out to be eligible for a skin. If this sounds complicated to you and you're not sure what a skins game is, the whole aspect of a skins game is each hole is its individual competition. And you can only win a skin if there's someone that gets a lower score than anyone else, pretty much. And in this case, a low net score. So the computer figures this all out. And again, it's an $1,000 skins game. So there could be 3 skins winners, there can be 1, there can be 8, there could be multiple, or there can be very few. Because the fact is, if on like hole number 1, for example, if multiple people get a net 4 or a net par, and even multiple gross winners, because then there's no skin on that hole. Okay, it sounds more complicated than it is. Golf Genius figures it all out. All we ask is that you put your gross score on the scorecard for each day, and Golf Genius does all the work for us. The scramble. Okay, so we're going to be playing red tees the whole time. That I have not mentioned, but we're going to be playing red tees, which are about 5,400 yards. Okay, for the scramble, we're going to be using 40% of the combined team handicap. Now, keep in mind that we have gross winners and net winners. So a lot of the times when I say, what the percentages of handicap we're using, that just pertains to net scoring, okay? But we will have gross winners. So partners tee off and select one ball, playing the second ball in play, and then partners then hit again and continue as such until holing out. This is a very typical scramble, just like how you play in a charity event, or maybe you play a scramble format in your league each week. But here are a couple notes that kind of individualize our scramble than anyone else's. Okay, first of all, players must play your own ball. So if you're playing a Titleist Pro V1 and your partner is playing a Titleist Pro V1X, like you cannot play with their ball. If you have to make a putt, if you're making, even if it's a 3-inch putt, you need to set your ball down and use that ball. You will never be hitting your partner's ball. Um, each player must use at least 6 tee shots, okay? And that goes for any par 3, par 4, par 5. Each player must use at least 6 tee shots. There will be a spot on the scorecard to mark off whose tee shot you did choose. And there might be some point in the round where you each have 6 tee shots and you can stop worrying them. You can stop, marking off whose tee shot you used. As long as each partner gets 6, then you're good to go. The ball chosen can be marked, lifted, and cleaned and replaced. It must be replaced either in the exact location or within 6 inches of the original location. But both balls must stay in the same condition. So if you choose a ball that's in the rough, you must stay in the rough. If you choose a ball that's in the fairway, you must stay in the fairway. Even if the fairway or the putting green is within 6 inches, you cannot place it in that different condition. You have to stay in the same condition as wherever that original ball was. On the putting green, the ball chosen must be played from the same spot. There's no 6-inch improvement. So mark the ball as normal and then putt it and then put the partner's ball in the same spot. A player may stand behind the partner when a shot is made. So there's a USGA rule that says you can't stand behind your partner. But for this format, we have waived that rule. On the scorecard, you're always, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only going to mark down your gross score on each hole. Your team handicap will actually be deducted after the round is complete. So please, on every day, all you're marking down is the gross score. The Golf Genius will compute your net score each day. You don't have to worry about that. And also, keep in mind, we will have local rules that I don't have on this. I don't have the local rules on this uh, presentation. But there is one local rule to keep in mind, which is we are using the desert rule. Okay. And as you saw in the email that I sent out, I do have the desert rule explanation, a video of that. So if you aren't familiar with what the desert rule is, please watch that video. Basically, if you go in the desert and you cannot find it, you can go take almost a lateral back 2 club lengths from the desert and then drop your ball from knee length, from knee height, and take a 1-stroke penalty for that. So if your tee shot ends up in the desert, you would then go where the ball you think is, where you think crossed into the desert, and then you take 2 club lengths from the desert into the grass, take a drop, no closer to the hole, and then you get 1-stroke penalty, so you're hitting your 3rd shot. Please watch the video. We will be using the desert rule in this tournament, which will help with pace of play and also, keeping scores, on the lower side. It will help you out for sure. Stableford scoring we're going to be using, like I said. This point system is just for reference. Okay, we're going to have it on the rule sheet each day too. This is just for reference. You do not need to mark down your points on the scorecard. Okay, Golf Genius will compute all Stableford scores for you. Okay? You do not need to confirm with your playing partners what your Stableford points were. You don't have to do any of that. Like I said, all you need to do is mark down your gross score, and the computer will do the rest for you. It will compute all the Stableford scoring and it will compute all your net scores. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that once you are putting or swinging for net double bogey, you can pick up because net double bogey is 0 points. Okay, so you can just pick up, you know. So I suggest if you're putting or swinging for net bogey that you go for it because if you miss it, then you have 0 points regardless. And 0 points happens. It happens to all of us. There's going to be times where both partners get 0 points. That's normal. So don't stress over that. Just pick up and move on. Sunday is best ball. Best ball, you're going to be playing your own ball. You're going to be using 90% of your index. Keep in mind, we have a maximum 36 course index, and then we will be applying a 10-stroke differential between partners if it's over that 10 strokes. Um, each player will play their own ball. The lowest gross score and the lowest net score on each hole is chosen toward the team score. Please note this can be the same person, okay? Most times it is the same person, but there's going to be occasions where, let's say if Carrie and I were competing, Carrie gets the lowest gross score, but then I get the same score as Carrie, but I have a pop on my on that hole. So my score will be actually towards net score, towards the net hole score. Again, this is all done by the computer, so we still just want you to write down the gross scores. But the reason I tell you this is because I don't want you picking up if you have the pop on the hole and that your ball will be towards the lowest net score. Okay. If you do pick up your ball or don't finish a hole, please put an X on the scorecard. Okay. If both players put an X on the scorecard for the hole, then you get 0 points for the hole. That's not a problem. Again, it is what it is. There'll be holes where both of you guys are just, not doing great, and that's okay. You're just going to have 0 points for the hole and you get to move on. You will be responsible for posting your own score for this round, and that's for the practice round too. If you feel like you have a postable round on Friday or Sunday, you will be responsible for posting your round. I am not going to post your round for you because if you have all X's on the scorecard, that's okay with me, but I don't feel like I should just post a score for you because of that. So it will be up to you to post your own score if you choose to do so. Again, we will be using Stableford scoring for this day also. So if you are putting or hitting for a net double bogey, pick up. Okay. If there's one partner that's already on the green and is looking really good and you've already hit into the desert and then, fluffed your other shot and you're, not doing great, but your partner's doing good, please pick up and go be helpful towards your partner and cheer her on. That's totally fine. It happens. So these are the most important things I want you to keep in mind for the scoring and for all the formats is, again, I'm going to say this many times because, we want the scorecard to be as clean as possible. You are only putting your gross scores on the scorecard. You're not putting net scores and you're not putting your Stableford scoring on the scorecard. Oh my God, I said it twice. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't mean to say it twice. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Um, Golf Genius will compute all the net scores and all the Stableford scoring. You do not need to even worry about that. Only one person in the group has to input Golf Genius scoring. And then once you pick up your ball, you are out of the hole. Okay? Even if you did it by accident, you cannot replace it once you pick it up. Okay? And then once you have a net double bogey pick up, X's are okay. It happens to everyone. Okay. So, if you are new to competing and this might even be your first tournament, that's okay. I'm I'm glad you're here. Um, this might not all make sense. I'm open to talking to you individually if that will help. Um, some of this will be very new, and I'm glad that you're going to be at the tournament and you're going to learn this because next tournament you play, you'll feel even that much more comfortable. Most of you, this is all normal stuff and you're used to it and it's no big deal. Especially if you've played in my tournaments. We keep everything very consistent within our tournaments. So you've seen this multiple times. You know what the deal is. Um, and that's good. One other thing I actually do want to share, which let me stop sharing this. One thing else I do want to share is, again, if you pick up, please just put an X on your scorecard. It just makes it easy, okay, for you and for us at scoring, okay? Your paper scorecard is what your official score is, all right? Okay, I hope this helped. Again, if you have any other questions, please reach out. You can text me, you can call me, you can email me, whatever you prefer, whatever kind of communication you prefer. Once Thursday Thursday the 23rd starts, once the tournament officially starts, the event officially starts, we will be communicating via text and not via email. The text messaging service, we don't start monitoring until Thursday, and then we start sending out text, and we'll be monitoring it on a regular basis. And that's where you're going to be able to ask all your questions. Until Thursday, you can email me, text me, whatever, and I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. We are going to have an amazing time. This is, and I should have said this at the beginning. This is one of my favorite courses of all time. Rich just told me on the phone that it is in immaculate condition for us. So I can't wait to host you there. My team is pumped. We cannot wait. We are going to have the best time ever. So come ready, and I'll see you in Mexico.